9th. Yeah, I can't believe it's September 9th. But good morning, everyone. I'm so grateful for you to be here. This is my weekly show at artbeads.com/live, Designing with Deb. I'm Deb Floros, and if you're just joining me for the first time, I try to do these shows to give you some inspiration, to talk to you about how to design jewelry, how to put things together, and just give you generally some tips and tricks and ideas, that sort of thing. And if you're coming back to the show, I'm so grateful that you're returning. So I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. I had a good one. It's just starting to cool down, maybe a little bit here in Arizona. So I'm grateful for that. Hopefully you all had a great weekend as well, and you're ready to start your week. This is a great time to just say, get up, let's get going, and let's do some things, including design some jewelry. So I hope that you'll all take me up on that and that you'll do that as well. I always think about, first thing in the morning on Monday, I'm going to get up, I'm going to do this show, hang out with the art beaters, and then I'm going to make lots of jewelry. So I'm looking forward to a really productive week. I hope you all have one as well. Michelle is in the house. Hello, Michelle. Great to see you, my friend. Say hello if you're out there, folks. Hello, Eric. Say hello if you're out there. I'd love to know where you're watching from and know what you might have planned for the week, jewelry-wise or otherwise. If you can't fit in the jewelry this week, let me know what you're up to. So this is a fun week. I'm excited about this week. We are doing a designer pick show. We are doing every day of the week a different showcase of a brand. So each designer is going to be sharing a brand and talking about the brand, talking about the things that are available from the brand, and showing off some of the pieces while making some jewelry. So yeah, I'm excited about this. I'll tell you what mine is shortly. Let's see who's here. I see some comments popping up. Santa Barbara Girl, good morning. Deb, Michelle, and Eric. Hi, Santa Barbara Girl. Laura K from Maryland. Hello, everyone. Kat says hello. Hi, you guys. Thanks for being here. And Santa Barbara Girl says, I'm bringing the quirky today. I love that. I always try, well, sometimes I can't help it. I bring the quirky anyways. Deborah Castelli says, happy Monday, Deb. Thanks, Deb. It's nice to see another Deb here. So guys, let's go through the logistics of things first before I get into the brand I'm going to showcase today. So if you're watching on September 9th, and you're watching live, the best place to watch is artbeads.com/live. So if you drop that address into your browser, you can come here to our show and I can see your comments and questions. Good morning, Tina. So you can interact with the team here, myself and Michelle and Eric. We're all here to help you out as you watch the show. If you're watching on Facebook, we do have a way for you to join us a little bit. There's a code at the top of the screen that you can type into the comments. It will bring you over to Messenger so that you can go and do some shopping, which is also something that you can do at artbeads.com/live. There is a shopping bag on your screen and you can click on that shopping bag and see everything that's in the show. So I've got some things loaded in there from my brand, as well as some other things to go with the brand. So if you want to pop over and see what all is in the show right now, you can do that. And you can start to load things into your shopping cart, which is really fun. And you don't lose the show. So you can shop, shop, shop while you listen to me and watch me here on my show. Who else is here? Sharon says, hi, Deb, Art Beats team and Art Beaters. Susie from South Florida says, good morning. Beatles. And Mary B says, good morning, nice blouse. Thank you so much. So if you're watching at Facebook or YouTube, I can't see your comments live, but we do appreciate the watch, and feel free to leave comments there so we can pop in later and respond. I'm grateful to have all of you here and joining me again this week. So, all right. So we talked about what we're doing this week. So each designer is featuring a brand, and since I am first in the week, I picked my favorite brand, or one of my favorite brands, which is JBB Beads and Findings. So JBB has been around for 70 plus years. They're casters and manufacturers of findings and beads in gold, sterling silver, brass, and pewter. And artbeads.com has a wild array of things from them and has had a partnership with them for some time. So we've got a wonderful collection of things in the show, as well as a ton more on the website. And you can get JBB Findings on sale. Almost everything on sale, up to 20 and 25% on most things. And I think that's a great deal. If you haven't tried out their pieces and parts, they are wonderful quality. There's so many things to choose from. There's chain and bails and toggles and pendants and buttons and bead frames, which we talked about last week. So if you've watched my show for any length of time, you've probably seen me work with these findings. So I love them. I enjoy them. They bring such cool interest and fun sort of finishing touches to your designs. So I've got a few things to do today. So if you want to shop the show, don't hesitate. And if you're watching at artbeads.com/live, you can also share the love with some hearts. We love to see that here at artbeads.com. So guys, thank you for being here. Hello, Susanna. Good morning. And Lizzie is showing up from the UK. Hello, Lizzie. So I'm going to flip my camera down, and we're going to start with something really fun and easy, but it's very cool. All right. So on my work table, first and foremost, I want to just point out this little guy here. So this little Easter egg I've been posting here and there. He kind of comes with me to every show. If you watched Sarah Lovecraft's show on Friday afternoon, you may know or have seen a little bit more about a llama. So that's all I'm going to say. I'm just going to put this llama off to the side. There's a llama coming, and you can go back and see a little teaser from Bead Fest about it. And you can see this little guy on the beginnings of almost every one of my shows. I put this little guy out on my table. He hangs out. You're going to learn a lot more about the llama very, very soon. So what do I have here? So I'm not a metalsmith. And so when I see rings that allow me to make a beautiful ring, I see ring findings. This is something I gravitate to. So this is probably one of my most favorite JBB products. This is a sizable ring, and it's got a little bezel setting for the ring, and look at all the amazing kind of floral detail around the edge. And then there's this little edging around the bezel that just show off whatever you're going to put in this. Now, this is a 14 millimeter antique silver plated pewter flower bezel, and it is meant to house a 14 millimeter Rivoli crystal. So if you like Rivolis and have been hoping to use a Rivoli in a way that's easy peasy, this is a project for you. This is so simple. We're just going to do this really quickly to get us started. We're going to take this amazing prestige, look at this. Oh, this prestige crystal is 14 millimeters, and it is Prestige 1122 is the number. It's a crystal with all kinds of AB finish, and it is absolutely spectacular. And a Rivoli has like a chaton type end to it, and it is foil backed. And look at how simple this is. This ring finding, this JBB ring finding is ready to go for this Rivoli. All we have to do is drop it in there. Now, we got to secure it. The way that you can secure it is with some glue. So I've got some glue sitting here on my work table. I like to use E6000. E6000 is pretty universal for working with this kind of a project. You do not want to use super glue with your beautiful crystals. It will frost them or create a weird reaction onto your crystal that will make it less beautiful than it is. So I just want you to know that E6000 is a great glue. You may also have other glues that you've used for this kind of project and that, that don't frost this crystal. So we're just going to quickly glue this in. I'm going to show you how I do that. I've got my workspace protected from the glue, just a recycled piece of cardboard. And I'm going to take a dab of glue and scrape it onto my cardboard. You can use a piece of plastic or maybe even aluminum foil, something like that. And all you need is a trusty little toothpick to do that. And I'm going to drop it in. Thanks for the hearts, you guys. This is super easy to do. I'm just going to take some glue. I don't want too much in there because I don't want that glue to creep up and seep over the edges of my bezel. And I realize that's hard to see because the glue is clear and the ring is so shiny. But I'm going to drop that Rivoli in. And because it's got that, that end that will go right into the bottom, it's going to adhere to my glue. And then I'm going to do some pressing down of that for just a few seconds. And you may have seen Sarah Lovecraft do this also as well in her Lazy Girl jewelry show. She did a few shows back. I think she may have even used a JBB ring finding for it. Let's see, Eric says, or Santa Barbara Girl says, Eric, you should start a beading group of llama mamas to showcase the designers and fans can participate. I think you're onto something, Santa Barbara Girl. And Susie says, does the E6000 have vapor issue when using it? So here's what I would suggest. It can be, it smells, but it doesn't smell awful like some other glues. I use a fan. So I've got a fan above me, but I may also use another fan on my work table if I'm using this glue. But it does not frost your crystals like a lot of other glues can, like super glue can. So look at this amazing ring. Oh my goodness. So absolutely spectacular. So we're going to let this dry. And what I like to do is I use a big kind of oversized, clothespin, and this one says be kind. And I'm just going to put it in there and set it down, and we're going to let this guy dry while we do some other fun things. So Eric's saying, I love that. I'm looking at ways to bring all of you into shows live. So what you're proposing fits right into that. Stay tuned. Yes, Eric has been thinking on that for a while and throwing out ideas. So you guys are right on it. All right, I've got another fun, and I mean little project. This is a fun little project, and I mean little. That's what I wanted to say. So this is going to be hard for me to show you because it is tiny, but I wanted to show you one of my favorite things. So these are some teeny tiny earrings that I made. And if you like tiny, dainty earrings, you're welcome, Susie. Lois, is the ring adjustable? Yes, it is. Let me just quickly pull that out of there for you. See, it is open at the bottom. You can press these in. You just don't want to do that too often and compromise the metal, but you can adjust it a bit. So if you like a tiny earring, and I like a tiny earring, so I have my ears double pierced, and I like a tiny earring for my second hole. But sometimes you just want a little earring. Now, I am a huge fan of daisy spacers. If you know my jewelry design, you probably see me use daisy spacers quite a bit. These are daisy spacers. So they are a little flat piece of metal that has a decorative edge that looks a bit like flowers. So hence the name daisy spacer. They come in different sizes and shapes, different metals, and JBB makes some amazing ones. So these are 4mm silver plated pewter daisy spacers. And these are a great addition to your jewelry making arsenal. And I think I would like to use these in just about anything. I would use these in necklaces. I would use these in bracelets. And I'm going to use these in a tiny pair of earrings today. So, oh yeah, daisy spacers are so useful. Thank you, Amy. I think they're fun little earrings. So I just want to show you how you can use daisy spacers in a little bit of a different way, and also how you can use daisy spacers or JBB findings with other metals. So this is tiny. This is a Bali or a Hill Tribe silver, sorry about that, Hill Tribe silver small roundel bead. And it has a little tiny bit of a design on it. I think the camera's picking it up right there. This is tiny. And what I like about this is it can go with any other metals. So we're going to combine it with some daisy spacers from JBB. So I'm going to take a head pin, and heads up, you guys, head pins have been a little challenging to get. I think either these might be out of stock or low stock. So I used these ball end head pins because they add a little bit of extra design to the bottom. But I'm going to take 3 of those daisy spacers and just pop them onto the bottom of my head pin. So you see that little ball end is kind of matching back to the little edges around those daisy spacers. And then I'm taking my Hill Tribe bead and dropping that on next. You could stop there if you wanted to. And that one's got such a fun little design around the edge. So look at the texture of your little bead and then the texture of these fun daisy spacers. So I'm going to put 3 more on. And I love that the silver metal tones are different. That just makes it really extra fun and pretty. And these daisy spacers are so bright silver that they are so stand out. They just add quite a bit of sparkle to the earring. So I'm going to use some round nose pliers, and I'm just going to do a wire wrap loop. And it's just simple. You could do a simple loop up top if you'd like. Just going to wrap around just a couple of times. And then I'm going to trim off my excess wire. And we're just going to put this onto an ear wire. And I stash all of my extra daisy spacers away for whatever projects I've got next. Look at those. Oh my gosh. So I use them for just about everything. So I've got some ball end ear wires here too that I think are very fun to tie back to the design. That's what they look like. And I'm just going to open that guy up and then put on my very simple but fun little tiny earring. I love these. I'm going to put these on into my second earring pierced ear holes because I think they are such a nice little fun dangly accent. So JBB has some beautiful daisy spacers for you. Pick them up because they're going to provide accents for your bracelets, for your earrings, for your necklaces, and you can actually showcase them as beads. In this case, that's what they're acting as. So much fun, super, super fun. Hello, Joan from Phoenix. Lizzie says those ball end pins look very SOF. I'm not sure what that means, but they are so cool. So pretty little project, super easy. And I've got a few little daisy spacers left. I'm going to set those in one of my trays and push those off to the side. Now, I've got another fun earring project, and I'm going to showcase some beautiful findings from JBB for these as well. And I had fun making these, and these are thinking a little bit outside of the box, you guys, so hang with me because I think you'll actually like these earrings. So sorry, I just bumped my work table there. So this is what I've got, this pretty little earring. Now, this is a JBB sterling silver floral link. And guess what, you guys? This is going to be my pick for the show. And I'm going to offer a special deal on this finding. So I was able to sneak in a coupon code for this finding. So it's already going to be on sale, but you can get an extra 15% off of this one with the code DEB15. So DEB 15. So if you like this lovely little finding, you can get this one with an extra 15% off with that coupon code. This is actually a bracelet bar, or what people would commonly use as a bracelet bar. So let me show you what it looks like on its own. So it's got a loop at either side, and it's got all of this wonderful swirly metal work. It is sterling silver. It's wonderful quality. Here's what the back looks like. And then this is what it would look like on your wrist. So it's curved a little bit so that it kind of goes around the wrist. You could use it that way in a bracelet, or you could do what I did and make it into a fun earring. And the curve actually looks pretty neat. So it's just kind of presenting that detail a little bit differently than if it were a flat component. And what I did was added all of these fun, beautiful check glass beads to it. So these are check fire polish beads in 8mm amethyst. You can get these in a 25-piece strand. They are so incredibly beautiful. Unfortunately, I don't think the camera is going to do these the justice that they can be done, or that can be done. They are gorgeous. I'll show you maybe in my hand. Look at the beautiful facets in these. This is a nice, deep, dark purple. Beautiful if you are a purple fan. I think purple's having a moment. So these are incredibly gorgeous purple faceted beads. So I thought these looked so gorgeous with silver. And, you know, these are the kinds of colors that you can go with any time of year. But I kind of like a dark purple in fall, in winter, and even for Halloween. So Halloween kind of with the purple thrown in is really kind of a fun vibe. So I'm going to use some of those same head pins, and I'm going to just do some simple wire wrap loops, and we're going to attach them directly to our finding. So we've got a nice generous loop here. These are nice big loops. These are a small gauge head pin, so they will work nicely to drop directly in there. If you're uncomfortable with that, you can most certainly do all your wire wrap loops, and then you can attach them to a jump ring and then attach them to the finding. If you're more comfortable with that, I like the fact that these will kind of cluster a little bit towards the finding, which I think makes the earring look interesting. So I'm going to wrap that right on and snip off my excess. And there's my first one. Now you could stop there and say, that's a lovely earring. One little beautiful amethyst glass bead on this beautiful JBB finding. You could then go to 2 of the glass beads, and I'm going to wire wrap this one directly on as well. So just getting a loop ready to go, and take that and put that into that ring at the bottom. And let's see, Michelle says, this might just be me, but I always see this length being used as a bracelet. I have a couple large clips in that same style. So yes, I agree with you. And they are used mostly as a bracelet bar. So I think that's how they are typically used. But I want to show you guys different ways that you can try out these findings. I think this is just really an interesting look because it is curved, but from the front, like when people are looking at you, they're not going to be able to tell that it's curved. Maybe from the side they might, but no one's going to say, oh, you're wearing a bracelet bar on your ear. And Santa Barbara Girl says, I like the idea of adding a bit of patina on these. You could most certainly do that. I often, I get nervous adding patina to sterling. I just feel like I don't want to do that in all cases. I get nervous about it. I feel like sterling is so precious that it sometimes deters me from doing that. But you could do that if you would like. So I've got another loop here, wrapping that around a few times, getting my excess cut off. So here's a trio of beads. You could do that, and you've got just as beautiful an earring. And I've still got space. So this is what I was rationalizing with myself is, hey, I can keep going. I can add more beads. How many more beads can I add to this finding? So you can certainly stop at 1 or 2 or 3. But I just kind of hold the finding so that gravity takes those other ones down, and then push that wire in and try and get my loop in there. I've opened it up enough, it should pop in there okay. Let's see, I'm trying to get a good look at it close up. There we go. And then I grab it with my flat nose pliers, so my chain nose pliers, I should say. These are amazing for this kind of technique. These are the Xuron Precision ones. They are amazing. They have such a fine tip. They allow you to get into those little spots. So here it is with 4 beads. You could stop at 4 if you like, or you could go 5, and that's what I did. So I'm just going to match mine up to the other one that I made. And Ann Winter says, a little cluster of grapes. Yes. Oh my gosh, I hadn't seen that. You guys always see something that I don't see. Thank you for being that other set of eyes for me to see what the possibilities are here. And this finding kind of looks like it could be, trying to get this last one in here. This little finding looks like it could almost be I'm going to push off camera, guys. I'm going to push this in there. I've got another set of pliers that will help me. So let's see if I can push that guy in. I promise you, I fit 5 onto the other one. The finding almost looks like a little bit of a vine. So you could say that maybe this is a grapevine earring. Well, gosh, that's not going on there because I've got one of my wires kind of messed up a little bit there. So I'm gonna go on. You guys can trust me. I did fit 5 on here. But because I've got one that wrapped kind of weird there, I don't have enough space to pop my last one on. But giving you the idea, and that may prompt you to want to do that with a jump ring. So you may want to grab all of your little wire wrapped grapes and put them onto a jump ring and then pop them. Oh my gosh. If you wear these on your ears, you can say, heard it through the grapevine. Now that song is going to be in my head. That's a earworm for the day is heard it through the grapevine. So just a last little tidbit about this. I've got some beautiful Tiara cast sterling ear wires that I used for this one. Just adding a nice little addition up top. And don't worry about the fact that this component is is a curved piece, because you are just going to treat it just like anything else that you would attach to an ear wire directly. It doesn't matter that it's curved. You don't have to do anything different, but you've got some really cool, fun earrings that are a different way to use that curved finding. Now, if you love this finding and you love it for earrings or a bracelet or whatever else you can dream up, you can get this one for an additional 15% off with the code DEB15. So that's that project. And I love these beads. They are so incredibly beautiful. So I'm going to set this off to the side. And I've got another project. This one is a bracelet. And I've got a few fun things from JBB for this one. And I've got some seed beads. And I've got some gemstones. And I'm excited about this. But I have to give you a caveat first. These stones I'm using are sold out. So when I picked them up and got them on their way to me, there were plenty of them in stock, but people must be thinking about fall and dropping, picking these up for fall designs. These are gorgeous. So, but what I did for you is I went and searched for a bunch of fun stones that are also great for fall designs, and thought that you could maybe pick from some of those because they would be equally as beautiful and fun. So here's where the JBB comes in here. So I want to showcase this incredible bead. So this is a JBB brass plated hollow wire round. It's an antique brass, and it's got this cool, it almost looks like it's wrapped, wrapped wire kind of a thing. So cool. So cool. Hi, PJ, you did not miss. It's such a cool bead. And I thought that this would be a great focal for a bracelet because it's not too big, but it's still nice and substantive in size for a bracelet. So I want to showcase this. And then I also want to use some more of the JBB daisy spacers. And these little guys are so great. Now, these are such a great color. They're antique copper and they are plated pewter. So we're going to use some of these as well because we want to add in a little more of an accent to the piece. And then we've got a JBB antique copper plated pewter ivy leaf toggle clasp. So I don't know about you, but when I'm picking out fall design pieces, I'm always just gravitating to whatever leaf I can find. And this is a nice leafy design and also a nice leafy color for fall. So this is terrific. Susie's asking, is it lightweight for earrings? If you're asking about that finding, Susie, yes, it absolutely is. And the more beads you add, the heavier your piece will be, but the finding itself is very lightweight. So if you just did one or three beads, it's probably, a little more on the lightweight side. When you get to the 5 beads, the beads are what are making it a little bit heavier. And Zakaya is saying, that's cute, saying raisin. Oh, so there must be something going on about the raisins. Anyways, this is what I'm going to use to close up my bracelet today. And you'll see, you'll see that your loop is at the end of your leaf like so. And then you've got a loop on your toggle bar here. And then the toggle bar is going to go through the little vine on your leaf toggle. So this is a fun collection of things. I've also got some seed beads, 2 different shades that are also very fall. Let me grab the vials here. And let's see, the larger one is an 8-0. It's a Toho, and it's dark copper. So it's super shiny, a nice dark but bright dark seed bead. And then I've got these that are really metallic bright copper delicas. They're Miyuki 11-0s, and they are spectacular. So I kind of wanted to get a mix of metals, a mix of coppers, but also tie some brass look into the equation as well. So we've got a full fall look here, and that's kind of what I'm going for. So I'm going to set all of that stuff off to the side. And I got my bracelet started because I wanted to see how this would come together. And I'm using some Bead-A-Lon 19 strand beading wire in a bronze color, which I love. PJ, no 15-0s, not today. I'm not going to torture you guys today. And wait, Santa Barbara Girl is saying you could make an earring out of that leaf. Yes. So you definitely could. You could attach here, or you could attach here. And if you attach here, you could actually wire wrap some seed beads onto, or stitch some seed beads onto it. So yes, 100% that you can do that. And then you could save your toggle bar for something else. This guy in the bronze color, I love bronze for fall stringing designs because they pull together all different kinds of metals nicely. So here's my little pattern. And I've got these rondelle gemstones, which again are sold out. My apologies. There were so many of them when I picked them out. So I've wire wrapped a few of them with a couple of seed beads on them. We're going to do that in just a second. But I strung on a rondelle, an 11, and then another rondelle, and so on. You could do the same pattern with rounds and whatever color of beads you've got going. So I'm starting my bracelet here, and then I'm adding these little dangles as we go. So I'm channeling my inner Sarah Lovecraft to get some little dangly action here. And I'll just do one of these quickly to show you what that looks like. So I've got a head pin here that I'm hoping, I can't remember if this one was out of stock either. This is a 3-inch long antique brass head pin. So this one kind of matches back to our mixed metal. And I'm just going to put on an 11-0, another 11-0. And that's what my little dangle is going to look like. So you've got a little bit of the metallic and you've got your gemstone. And then I'm going to do a wire wrap loop. And with this guy, I just want to do just one or two little wraps, and I want to be careful of that seed bead there because you can crack that seed bead and we don't want that to happen. So I'm just going to be very, very careful when I put that together. So I'm going to set that excess off to the other side. And when I attach this, what I want to do is just kind of bury it into my seed beads. So I'm going to take my pattern of seed bead, start with an 11-0, and then string on my dangle, and then string on my 8, my 8, and then another 11-0. And so I've got them sort of hanging in between the seed beads. Now, what I like about the little dangles here is they just add a little bit of interest to what seems like a simple bracelet, but it's going to add some interest to the piece and have some movement when it's on your wrist. So I'm going to add another one of the stones. So pick your stone. I've got some others in the show. Pick your stone that you like. And I'm going to then take an 11-0, and then I'm going to put on 3 daisy spacers. So these little lovelies, these actually show the true daisy look of them because they're not quite as shiny. It was hard to show you the true daisy aspect of them, but they do look like tiny little daisies. They're so cute and they're just so versatile. We used them in those earrings, and now we're going to use them as an accent on our bracelet. So I'll show you up close what I got here. I've got 3 of those together, so it almost looks like a bead. And I'm using them to frame up and to help me with that larger hole on this beautiful focal bead. So these are pretty large holes. So if I were to slide that onto the bracelet with the seed beads next to it, it would just eat up my seed beads. And I'd have to do a lot of maneuvering to get enough seed beads to go through it, which you can do. But I like the idea of creating a little bit of a frame and then preventing my seed beads from going everywhere. Now, because this bead is open and has some of that design, it's also a little bit challenging to get your wire through. So when I'm putting my wire through, it wants to come up through these openings. So just play with it a little bit, be patient. It's gonna go through there. So see how I've added those beads to the side. I've got that mixed metal look. And those little daisy spacers are just kind of a frame on one side of the bead there. So now I'm going to add them to the other side. So I'm going to get another trio of these beautiful daisy spacers. Shout out to the daisy spacer lovers out there. You made the mushrooms, Deb. Did I make mushrooms again? See, you guys always see what I'm making in a different light. So there we've got, are these the mushrooms, little dangles? I think they could be the ones you're referring to. So here we've got our big focal bead framed up by those daisy spacers. So it's just creating a little bit more interest and mixing up textures, mixing our metals, making this whole piece really interesting and different. So now I'm going to grab another 11-0 and another one of my stones. And then I'm going to continue on with my pattern. So I'm going to grab one of my 11-0s and an 8-0 here. And then I'm going to do another wire wrap bead. Now, I would suggest doing your wire wrap beads ahead of time so that you can just string these on to your wire. But I thought I'd just kind of show you the process as I go so that you can see that with your eyes and know that they are done by a human. Just open that up a little bit and then push it around. And I just want to get the wire around the top of the little seed bead. And I want to be very careful. I don't want to cover up the seed bead and I don't want to crack the seed bead. So I'm going to put that guy on and add another 11-0 and then another bead. And these beads, unfortunately, they're not available, but they have so much color variation that they just make this super fun and interesting. I really love the look of this bracelet for fall, but you can take these same seed beads and add in a different gemstone and you've got an equally beautiful fall bracelet. So I'm going to create another one here. It says, yes, I thought they looked a bit like them. I see a lot as forest. Because I live in the woods. Oh, you live in the woods. I did not know this. I think the woods can be so inspiring. The colors, the smells, all of the beautiful things, the wildlife. Do you get wildlife too, Santa Barbara girl? So here we've got our next dangle. So I'm just going to wire wrap this one and get that around once or almost twice around there and then snip off my excess of my head pin. You could also use shorter head pins here if you don't like working with the larger ones. I just feel like I get a little bit more leverage with them. Oops, flung that seed bead into oblivion in the room. All right, I'm gonna grab a different color stone here. So this is what we're looking like. Couple of dangles on this side, 3 dangles on that side. Really fun. Now, one more dangle is going to go on and then we're going to continue on just with our pattern of beads to finish it off. So I'm going to make one more dangle. I've got one more jump ring here, or one more head pin here. Geez, my words. Use your words, Deb. All right, there's another rondelle and another seed bead for the little dangle or a little mushroom. And Santa Barbara girl says the Oregon woods, Mama Doe and her triplets, turkeys, foxes, and occasionally bears. Oh my gosh, I love it. That is like, I would never get away from the window. I'd always be wanting to look out and see if I can see all of those cuties. I've got all the Southwest craziness, animal, wildlife here. It would be fun to see some things I don't normally get to see. So I guess we're all headed to Santa Barbara girl's house so we can see all the wildlife at her place. She's inviting us all to a party. Did you hear? Just kidding. Just kidding. All right. So I've got all my dangles. I'm just kind of doing dangles towards the focal, but we're not going to do dangles all the way around the bracelet. You could most certainly do that if you would like. That's a design choice for you, but I kind of like the idea that this one looks a little bit different because it doesn't have dangles throughout the whole piece. You could even do double or triple dangles along the way. You could add multiples in those spaces where the seed beads are. You could actually just add dangles if you didn't want seed beads, but I like adding these 2 different shades of seed beads for some interest on this piece. Just getting a cool mixed metal vibe. Really fun, interesting, and you're getting a little bit of that metallic shine. So last week we talked talked about some bead frames and using different, shine and that kind of thing. There's so many different ways that you can get shine on into a design. And this is another way, just grabbing some seed beads that are a little bit subtle, but a little bit not at the same time. So I like the look of that. And seed beads are also a great way to get a lot of spacers for yourself, because I haven't even scratched the surface of this vial of seed beads. So yeah, so I'm gonna need a little bit more on either side here. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna need a few more beads. So this is what I do when I'm working from the package. Sometimes I'll start the bracelet not knowing exactly what I'm going to do with the design. And then I realize I need more beads on either end. So I will cut from the package then, giving myself plenty of excess, and move my wire out of the way. And then I'm going to take my bead stopper and then continue on and add a few more beads. So I know this is a little bit too short, so, oops. So I want to add a couple more beads on the other end. And if you want to be very specific in terms of kind of the beads that you're picking, so in this case, these beads have some different colors. In other gemstones, you're also going to find that same thing. So you can be very selective of which color you're going to put onto your piece next. I just kind of put them on randomly, but you could certainly say, I'm going to use only the darker ones or only the lighter ones, whatever you think is best for your piece. So I'm going to drop another bead on this side and then put my stopper back on. And I'm just going to really quickly take a look at this on my wrist. So I actually think, oh, look at that. Look at all that fun, the movement, the colors, that focal JBB bead with the JBB little daisy spacers are very cool. Love your bracelet. Bronze is perfect. Thank you. And Santa Barbara Girl says, I'm born and raised city girl, but now I'm home. That's awesome. So this, let me get this out of the way. This toggle is a little bit on the bigger side. So size-wise, it's going to be chunky. So this may proportionally be a little bit too big for you. But I wanted to show you the option of this for fall and wanted to give you, an idea of how to use a fun closure like this and see, how you can make it as an accent piece on the bracelet. So this is actually so big that you about it for your piece and think about how much length it's going to give you. So I'm going to take that end bead back off, and this is what I mean. So when you're stringing up your design, you might want to then add your piece, your toggle piece to the other end and measure it out so that you can see the length of it with the toggle. So that's kind of what I would consider if you're going to use a toggle like this. And this one is absolutely gorgeous. So I'm going to set all of my beads aside so I don't end up with those everywhere. And I'm going to do something that I don't always do, and I'm not going to use a piece of wire. So I'm not going to use a piece of French wire at the end, which is typically what I do. Because this wire is so nicely matched to this piece, I'm going to just use the bare wire, showing you that yes, you can do that it's perfectly acceptable to do that. And I'm just looking everywhere now for my crimp tubes. There they are. So I added back one more of my 8s at the end, because with a toggle, that end is going to be a little bit challenging if you just have the bead at the end, the larger gemstone bead. So I do have some crimps here that are in a copper tone. So I'm going to take one of those, put that off to the side here. I'm going to take one of those, and I'm going to attach my toggle bar first. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take that wire, I'm going to push it down through the crimp tube, through the seed bead, and through my gemstone bead. And I want to give this toggle bar movement. So you don't want to choke this up. You don't want to pull the wire all the way down. You want to have a loop there and give it some room to shimmy. See that? So I'm going to grab my crimping pliers. If I could get that guy out of my way, I'm going to give that a good crimp. And now it's got plenty of room to move around. You've also got some length here so that it will go through the other side of the toggle nicely. And then I'm going to grab my cutters, cut off my excess. And now I'm going to go over to the other end and grab my other crimp tube. And we're going to put that guy. Oh, I want to add on one more 8 at the end here. So I can get my fingers on that guy. And then the crimp tube. So this is what that end looks like with your crimp and your last little bead. And then, now I've done this before with a toggle like this. I think your tendency is to almost go around the loop. I don't know, maybe that's just me, but I have actually attached these wrong at times. So make sure you go through the loop that it's intended to go through. So put that there, and then you're going to go back through your crimp tube, through that 8/0, and through that first gemstone, and then keeping your bracelet kind of rounded there. You're going to want to pull that down, but not too much. We also want that wiggle and shimmy room here. Just a touch more. We want this to have movement. We don't want that to be pulled all the way down. It's just going to cause your bracelet to be a little bit wonky if so. So get that crimp done there. Got that crimped down, and then cut off the excess. And guess what, you guys? We have a fun fall bracelet with a fall clasp, a JBB fall clasp. We've got the JBB beautiful brass open bead with the little daisy spacer frames. And oh my goodness, all these little dangles, these seed beads adding some interest, and these gemstones. So I really love this for fall. Such a fun piece. And it just shows you with all of the different things we've worked with today that JBB has an amazing array of pieces and parts that you can add to your design. So that's why I featured them today. And oh, let's reveal our ring. So look at this beauty. Oh my goodness. I think this is the finger. No, it's this finger that I put it on earlier. This ring. Wow. So, hey, you can have your big blingy ring for just about any occasion. And this is just so much fun. Hi, Anne. Oh my gosh, I didn't see you pop through. So good to see you here. So this is an incredible ring, and I made it in just about, I don't know, 5 minutes or less. It will need to dry a little bit longer, but oh my gosh, look at all these fun things that you can do with JBB Findings and Beads. So terrific. And remember, if you'd like to pick this little piece up today with a little extra off, you can use DEB15 coupon code for that guy. And try these out as a bracelet bar or for earrings or whatever. And we've got some fun stuff. Very, very fun. Okay, I'm going to flip camera around here. Ooh, so that was fun, you guys. I hope that if you have not tried the JBB brand, that you'll give it a try today. There's some things in the shopping bag that you can pop into your cart. There's the items that I worked with today, and there's so much more. So don't forget to close out that cart. Take advantage of the sale that's happening. And I wish I could tell you the other brands that are going to be featured this week. There are some amazing ones, but you'll have to watch the shows each day this week. So we've got Andrea tomorrow. We've got a show on Wednesday, as far as I know. And we've got Becky on Thursday and Sarah on Friday. And we're all going to be sharing wonderful brands with you. And we hope that you'll enjoy what we're showing off for you. Couple other things. If you're interested, go to Serious Art Beaters Facebook group. Join us there. I'm going to put these pieces out on the Facebook page today to show you the finished items. And don't forget to sign up for the Art Beads newsletter. If you go to the website, artbeads.com, scroll down to the bottom, you can pop in your email address. That will help you be in the know for all the deals that are coming and all the fun and exciting things that we're doing here at artbeads.com. And feel free to share the show, and don't miss out on all of the replay capability that you've got. Go and binge watch all the shows and make some creative things with us. So thank you all very, very much for watching. I'll be back next Monday, and I hope you all have a good and creative week. We'll see you soon. Thanks, everybody.